Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadhanam Dhayet Sarvavighnopashantaye. Good evening to all. Today, as we starting the Brihat Parashara Hora, a thorough from the exploration from the starting, from the chapter 1, from the Mangalacharanam. Here this Brihat Parashara Hora, many a times, it is a big question. We are going to have a very, very big claims. This astrology is of very old Vedic astrology and so on. We have to understand its whereabouts also, because we are in the society and many people ask us, once we are being established, they expect us to answer each and every question also. This Brihat Parashara Hora is with the 98 chapters. The format is of the sloka orientation. The Sanskrit slokas are very lucid. It is used with the lucid Sanskrit. It is not a complicated Sanskrit. And many of the traditional books are with the codings as a Katapayadi Sanya. The Katapayadi Sanya is not being used in the Brihat Parashara Hora. Thereby, we can understand this is not such a word as we say. Then we'll get a common statement, Kalo Parashare. In Kali Yuga, the Parashara has to be followed. This is what the statement is. The Kali Yuga, when we are going to say the number of years, the Mahabharata war happened a 5,000 plus years back. After that, immediately Kali Yuga has been started. When the Kali Yuga has started, the 5,000 years back approximately, we see this Parashara is supposed to be launched as a compilation. Why I say compilation is, the Brihat Parashara Hora refer lots of the rules which are in the Jaimini astrology. Whereas this Jaimini astrology is using sutras but not the sloka. Sutra which has been using the Katapayadi Sanya, and it is a coded also. A coded Sanskrit, when it is being used as a sutra, that is before to that of the 5,000 years approximately, or at least before to that of the Parashara only. Now, when we see this Brihat Jaimini astrology or Jaimini sutras, only 4 chapters are available at present out of the entire, which is incomplete, and rest of the book is not available even. That means at the time when the Parashara compiling, probably some of the Jaimini was available also. Probably the Jaimini also has given, and whatever Jaimini said in the sutras has been written in the sloka format by the Parashara. Jaimini astrology got some of the specific things, जैसे Kala Chakra Dasha, Chara Dasha, Sthira Dasha, Arudha, Upapada, Argala, Karakamsha. These are the terminals which are used in the Jaimini astrology. That means Jaimini was first and the later was the Parashara. This is very clear understanding. Then how this Parashara and what he has used, when and where necessary, I am ready to comment, and we can have a discussion if necessary also. This Parashara, first 4 chapters, today we are undertaking for the discussion or the explanation. Srishti Krama, Avatara, Graha Swarupa, Graha Sadhana. These are the 4 chapters which are basically as an introduction to that of the Vedic astrology. In Parashara Hora, it has been used with it. Very comfortably, when we see and judge this Parashara, it has followed a question answer pattern as like in Ayurveda has been followed. There the Agnivesha asks the Punarvasi. Here the Maitreya is asking the Parashara. It is supposed to be not the Brihat Parashara Hora, but it is supposed to be a Maitreya Samhita or Maitreya Hora. Anyway, this Brihat Parashara Hora, initially the questions were very beautifully asked. First question, what is the level of the astronomy knowledge in this is the big question for us. And were there any evidence of the references of the scientists or scientific attitudes in the Brihat Parashara Hora is another question. Whether this Brihat Parashara Hora is a blind acceptable treatise or not is another question. So we need to explore the Brihat Parashara Hora, and the questions asked in the Brihat Parashara Hora also mind-blowing. First chapter, it is a Srishti Krama. In this, Maitreya is asking the Brihat Parashara, Guruji, I want to know about the astrology. What he wants to know. As you said already, this Shruti, I want to know about the Hora, very specifically from the Jyotisha. That was the request from the Maitreya. He asked the first question, Katamasya Viswasya Prabhavo. How this universe has been generated or developed. The second question he is asking is, Adhalayo Bhavet. How this is going to be demolished or otherwise perished. Third question is, Nabhasthayi Grahanancha Bhumishta Praninam Ida Ke Druso Asticha Sambandha. The grahas which are in the above, in the sky, how they are giving rise any effect, either the good or the bad, on the people, those who are residing on the earth. A very valid question. These are the questions which are being asked even by the common man to an astrologer even today. How? Fourth is Phalam Yena Prayojayet. Phalam Yena Prajayate. How the effect is to be assimilated. I was looking in the first chapter about these answers. Questions are very valid questions, but the answers were not given by the Parashara. I do not understand whether the Parashara do not know or he felt these are the idiotic questions, probably. Many a times, some of the things are being ignored. What he has narrated in the first chapter of the Shakti Traya, and he says Vishnu is the person who is responsible for everything. Whether we take the Vishnu or whether we take the Ishvara, whomsoever God. Avyakta Vyaktarupascha. This is what the commonly being said. Who is invisible and he is capable of doing everything. This is what we are learning from the beginning. But I understood and I got some of the words. He says the Vishnu or the God who is there with, he is with the two forms. The first form is the Vyakta, which is visible. The visible is with the Shakti Traya. Avyakta is with the Shakti Dvaya. Shakti Dvaya, Shakti Traya. Here he used the word Shakti, the energy, which we can translate it. Vishnu is Avyaktatma, and also he is said to be making this Vishnu. Now, he brings the consideration of the three gunas, Sattva, Raja, Tamo gunas, and the Sattva guna is with the Sri Shakti, Vishnu Rupam, and which is going to protect the universe. And it is being said as the Aniruddha, and it is even the Ahankara Brahma. The terminologies which are being used, for a little time you just keep it as only Sri Shakti is the Sattva Guna Bhuishta, Bhu Shakti is the Rajoguna Bhuishta, and Neela Shakti is the Tamoguna Bhuishta. These Ahankaras is resembled, or Ahankara is developed from the Rajas. That's what he says. Ayurveda says, from the Ahankara, Sattva, Rajas, Tamogunas are being generated. Now, the Sattva, Rajas, Tamogunas, he refers with the Devata are with the Sattva Gunas, Rajaguna is with the Indriyas, and Tamoguna is the Panchamahabhuta. Here, the Tamoguna is going to be with the Panchamahabhuta is one striking point here. When we are discussing the Dravyas, Khadanyatma Manahkalo, this is the Dravya Sangraha. There are 9 Dravyas, Karana Dravyas and Karya Dravyas. The Karana Dravyas, which are elemental substances, or they are in the 9 in the Ayurveda, which has been told. But when you see the Annambhatta Tarka Sangraha, there the Andhakara is also being said as the darkness, matter and antimatter. Matter, these 9 are going to be, antimatter is the 10th one, has been said in the Tarka Sangraha. Now, these materials, when we are going to see the substances, these substances are to be assessed with respect to that of the present day terminologies also. The Sri Shakti, Bhu Shakti, Neela Shakti. Sri Shakti is a force. There in the physics principles, we get the one is the strong force and second is the weak force. This force, Sri Shakti, is the energy which is going to be measured as a strong force and the weak force. As Shakti Dvaya, Abhyakta is being said, this strong force and weak force, which is forming the universe, is to be understood. The Bhu Shakti is the gravity. Without gravity, there will be no life. Here he says in the Parashara Hora first chapter, Bhu Shakti is going to be the creator or the Brahma. With the gravity only, the life is going to be sustained. This is what the present day scientists are going to be confirmed. Without gravity, the life will not be. If the gravity is there, the gravity is there for each and every. Even Mars has, the Moon has, all the planets, all the celestial bodies have some gravity. Wherever there is a mass, there will be a gravity. This gravity is supposed to be from a particular distance from the sun in the Goldilocks zone, then only the life can sustain and water is going to be liquid on this planet. Here, the Neela Shakti is the third one which we are commencing. The Neela Shakti is said as the electromagnetism. The earth is at the Goldilocks zone, a specified distance, 7 minutes of the light travel from the sun. And secondly, it is with a specified gravity, G1, and the Neela Shakti electromagnetism is going to be making a protection to that of the earth. When this is happening, then only life sustenance can happen. This concept is very heart-touching to me from the Brihat Parashara Hora. What present-day scientists said, even he said the same thing, even though he did not answer all the questions. The Jagat Trayam, there is one more small thing. When the Jagat Trayam is going to be there, Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha, this is what we are going to give the mantra of the Gayatri. Bhu Bhuva Suvaha. Bhu is the earth, Bhuvaha is interstellar space, Suvaha is Antariksham. Bhu Bhuva Suvaha is going to be the Jagatraya. The Jagatrayas are going to be under the control of the Vishnu, is said by the Avyakta Vishnu. Avyakta Vishnu, that is the strong force and the weak force. The strong force, weak force, electromagnetism, gravity, these are the 4 factors which make us to be on earth as a life, and we are going to be get affected by this electromagnetic waves and the gamma waves, gamma rays and light rays from the outside. Here, the Amsha is going to be discussed here. Paramatma, Amsha, Jivamsa. Here, why this Jivamsa and Paramatmamsa has come out? Here, Paramatmamsa is the universalization. Jivamsa is going to be on the earth or where the gravity is going to be persisting. When he says in the subsequent chapter, he discussed the avatar. Here, once again, I want to check the timeline. The timeline, when we are checking it, we have got from the first instance, Parashara is supposed to be after the Jaimini, that is after the Mahabharata war, and at least 5,000 plus years from now onwards. In the second chapter, when he is speaking, he speaks Rama, Krishna, Nrusimha, that is, and Varaha Avatara. These four are of the Paramatma Amshas. That means they are of the universal in nature. That means they are perfect. And Meena, Kurma, Vamana, and Buddha are said to be the Jivamshas. They are of the earthen, they are not of the universal in nature. He brought up to the Buddha. The Buddha, as he referred, that means he is supposed to be after the Gautama Buddha. Now the question is, when Gautama Buddha was incarnated, that is the 3 BCE, that means 2026 years before, 3rd century. Now, 2023 is going on, plus 300 years at the maximum, 2,300 years approximately before the Gautama Buddha incorporated. So, after the Gautama Buddha, the Parashara Samhita has been compiled. That means approximately 2,200 years. That is not so vast, open, and very old. It is approximately 2,000 years old. Here he says, in this Brihat Parashara Hora, Jivamsa Visudastesham Tebhyo Jata Naradayaha, Tebhyo Grahamsa is, Tebhyo means Grahamsa. Now, the Jivamsa and Paramatmamsa difference is, why he is speaking the Jivamsa is with the effect of the Graha. Whatever who is born on the earth and non-universal phenomenons or non-universal creation, they belong to the earth, and the earthane are with the effect of the grahas. This is what he has established in the avatars. While we are speaking about the Dashavataras, most important thing is, even we can understand the Darwin's evaluation theory is also going to be in the same way. And this particular section, which we are looking as an evaluation, the evolution of the human being, it started from the ocean and the water as a Meena. And they become the Kurma, and where the earth and the water both are going to be there, then the next Varaha, and subsequently the Nrusimha as a caveman or the jungle person, and later to that of the Vamana, dwarfism of the mind development, and then the Parashurama, angry young man, and then the Rama, a polite Purushottama, and later to that of the Krishna, a person who is with the politics. And after that, a peaceful manner, a peaceful person is the Buddha. Up to that only the Parashara Hora described. After that, he did not use the word of the Kalki, Dashama Avatara. That means he comes up to the Buddha only. He defines and he is going to record up to the Buddha. The third chapter is with the Graha Swarupas. Here, this is a very important and interesting chapter where the astrology is being introduced in a proper way. Here, he gives the first term as a nakshatra. Nakshatra sanyakaste tu na ksharanti iti nischalaha. They are not going to perish and they are stand still in the sky. This is what the nakshatra is being said. Vipulakaravanto me Gatimanto Grahakila. On the other hand, which are going to be moving objects are being said as the grahas. And they are nearer and a bigger size also. Swagatya bhani granhanti yato ataste grahabhiraha purvamasham vrajantopi pravaha preritastute paschimasyam disistada gachinta yava bhranti. These slokas, when you are saying, first say, Swagatya bhami granhanti yato ataste grahabhida. Why we are saying this graha? The grahas are receiving the light and they are reflecting. That's why we are saying them as the graha. The grahas are the spherical masses. The spherical mass are being reflective in nature. The source of the light is the Surya. This bha is the luster and the luminaries, which is going to be reflective in nature. The second stature says, Pravaha Preritastute. They say, as like a water flow, there is a flow in the Antariksham. In the flow, they are being circling. The flow is always forward. It is Purvadisha, but they look as they are going as they to the Paschima. A mirror reflection is going to be seen or observed in the sky for this planetary movement. It is being stated by person. Now the planets, even though they are going forward, it looks from the earth as they are going the retrograde Vakrata are going backward, going forward, but they are in the particular circle or the pravaha or the flow has been defined by this Parashara 2000 years back only. Nishchalas are nakshatras, they are not movable. Gatimanta are the grahas, movable are the grahas. Bhani granhanti, as light is being absorbed and reflective from the sun, and they are in the pravaha or in a particular flow of the movement where they are moving is being understood by him. A 2000 years back, having this much of the specified knowledge towards the astronomy is very astonishing, and these are the things which are being said by the Western scientists in the very latest 100 to 200 years back. Before to that, they were still thinking the earth is a flat and the people, those move to the edge of the earth, they are going to fall down in the ocean. Here, the second point which he speaks in the third chapter is Rasi Chakrasya ye bhagaha samah saptadri sankhakaha. Here, he is defining the nakshatras. There are 27 nakshatras are going to be there, which are to be divided in the circle of the Bhachakra. This is 360 degrees divided by the 27 is the 13 degrees 20 minutes is the each and every nakshatra size with the arc which we could understand. Common question being asked. He is also saying stating the same common. Lagnam. Lagnam bhavati Rashi nam udayoho. Lagna is the Rasi Udayam. Whichever the Rasi is at the horizon, that is said to be the Lagna for the particular birth time or the selected time. The Navagrahas are being incorporated here. Brihat Jataka said only Saptagrahas. Ravi, Chandra, Kuja, Buddha, Guru, Sukra, Shani are the only 7 being nomenclated in the Brihat Jataka. He did not touch the Rahu and Ketu, the nodals. Parashara is later to that of the Brihat Jataka also, probably. That's the reason why the Navagrahas he is speaking, and these Navagrahas which are being stated here are Ravi, Kuja, Seni, Rahu, Ketu, and Kshina Chandra, they are Papa. And Papa Ikta Buddha is the Papa. Papa Subha. Papi Subha is going to be one more, 2 more terminology. Papi is a malefic who makes always bad. Subha is the benefit or who is going to give a betterment. Purna Chandra, the full moon, Subhayukta Buddha, associated with the good person, the Buddha, and the Guru and Shukra are said to be the always Subhas. Now, out of these 9 planets, Mandala Grahas, Tara Grahas, Chaya Grahas, this is a classification which we are going to hear. The Mandala Grahas means Surya and Chandra, that always they are moving forward only. There is no retrogradation or the Vakrata or going back is being stated for these 2 planets, as the earth is revolving around the sun and moon is revolving around the earth. Whereas other 5 planets, Kuja, Shukra, Buddha, Guru and Shani, these 5 planets, they are revolving around the sun and seen from the earth. They look like stars from a farer distance. That's why they are being stated as the Tara Grahas. The Tara Grahas, when we are going to see the Pancha Grahas, Mandala Grahas are 2. The 2, Rahu and Ketu, are said as nodes, are the Chaya Grahas. What are these nodes? We have come across in the very first chapter about the electromagnetism as a Neela Shakti. The Neela Shakti is the electromagnetism which is having in the polar regions a node and antinode, wherefrom it is going to be get started with electromagnetism rays. That pole, the magnetic pole, is being stated as a node, Rahu, and the antinode opposite 180 degrees opposite side is the Ketu, this antinode. If we are understanding the impact of the electromagnetism very specifically, these 2 are said as the Papa Grahas only, Chaya Grahas. Papa Chaya Grahas. The Papa Chaya Grahas are going to give rise problems. You might be noticed with the elderly talk. Whenever there is a Grahana, the people should not go out. The effect of this electromagnetic rays is going to give a genetic problems also. In a Chandra, in a Kundali, in a Lagna Kundali, when we are going to observe this Rahu Ketu positions, in the 5th place for the parents, we can understand they are going to get a genetically challenged child. It could be autism or some other problem. The same thing will be reflected in the children's horoscope as the Lagna Rahu or the Lagna Ketu, which is going to give a mild to moderate to even the severe, according to the combination and permutation, a genetical disorder or a birth time established diseases accordingly. Now, there are another 2 terminologies which are brought here. First one is the Trikona. Trikona is the 5 and 7. 1, 5 and 7 are going to be said as a Trikona. The Trikona is always said to be for the good auspicious things. And Trishadha is the another term which we have to make out. Trishadha means 3, 6 and 11. These are the Papasthana. The planets in the 3rd place and the 3rd place Lord, 6th Lord and 6th place posited planet, 11th Lord and 11th place posited planets. They are also going to give the bad effects. Whereas Lagna posited, 5th place posited and 7th place posited planets are the Lagna Lord, 5th Lord and the 7th Lord. Sorry, sir, not the 7th, this is 9th. 5th and 9th Lords, which are going to be is the Trikona. People, those who are in the planets, those who are in the Trikona, the 159 and 159 Lords, both are going to be making the benefic results. So, when we are looking in a horoscope, we have to understand the 159 positions planets and 159 position lords of the planets. These two sets of the planets are going to give a betterment to that of the person to whom we are observing the horoscope. In the same way, planets posited and lords of the 369, 3611 are going to give the problems, and they are malefic in nature. Here, he gives lots of the interferences with that of the who is the Atma, who is Manas and Chandrama, Manaso Jataha. Mind is always noticed from the Chandra only. Here, when we are looking in the medical astrology, basically we look for the Janma Kundali. Janma Kundali is from the Lagna, which we count either in the Bhava or the natural zodiac Rashis. If at all we want to read the psychological aspects of that individual, we have to see from the Chandra position, and that is called as a Chandra Lagnam. From the Chandra Lagna, psychological attitude of the person, and from the Janma Lagna, the physical properties and behavior of the person are to be observed. Here, the Buddha is referred to that of the Vak Sthana. Position of the Buddha is going to be understood. And whereas the knowledge is from that of the Guru. A person who is having the Dhruti Smruti, they are reflective with that of the Guru position, and how he speaks and what he speaks are going to be with the Buddha to be understood. There are the Varsha, Raja, Samya, Raja, Mantri, etc. has been said, and Devatas also being said in this particular chapter. Yet our interest, which we have had, is Buddha, Shani are the Napumsaka planets, Chandra, Shukra are the three grahas, Ravi, Kuja, Gurus are being said as a Purusha graha. Here also there is no reference of the Rahu and Ketu at any time. Pancha Mahabhutas also being said, and out of the Pancha Mahabhutas, when you see, here the Pancha grahas only being taken, where the Ravi, Chandra were not taken into the consideration. Kuja for the Agni, Buddha for the Bhu, and Guru for the Akasha, Shukra for that of the Jala, Shani for that of the Vayu. When we see these things, it is a very reflective with that of the planets. The Guru is with that of the very big mass. That's what we see. Guru Graham is a very big planet. But very unfortunately, Guru Graha surface is not there. It is only the hollowness, and we cannot land on the Guru Graha. The Shani Graha is having circles around, and it is more with that of the windy in nature, or the Vayu Prakopa is going to be there. Shukra is with the Jala, and Puja with that of the Agni. When we see this Pancha Mahabhutas, the real planets, what they are reflective. We can expect the water on the Venus, and we cannot expect the water on the Mars. We are having lots of the missions. The Chandra, when we are going to see, Chandra, we cannot consider it as evil. Very funniest of the thing which we have to understand here is, Kuja is Agni, but he is said as the Bhumiputra. Bhumi is from the Buddha. Buddha child is the Kuja, and Buddha is said as the Chandraputra. Buddha is Chandraputra, and Kuja is the Bhumiputra. Now Bhumi is with the Buddha. How this is to be understood is, what is the riddle behind this is a very big question here. Brahma, Sudra, Vaishya, etc. Jati was given. What does this Jati mean? Brahmana, when it is going to come in the Vedic literature, that reflects only the Jnana. The Guru and Shukra are for the Jnana, and Kshatriya is the Ravi and Puja, where there is a fighting nature is going to be there. And Vaishya is the Chandra and Buddha, where there is a barter system or bargain systems are going to be there. And Sudra is the Shani. Here there are two Shanis. One Shani is the Makara Shani, second is the Kumbha Shani. The Makara Shani is a tremendous worker. He is a very skilled worker, whereas the Kumbha Shani is said to be a lazy worker. So these things are to be observed when we are looking anything very specifically towards the attitudes of the individual according to the nakshatra grahas corresponding. But in the medical astrology, most important thing which we are going to see is dhatu and rasa. Here in Parashara Hora, Ravi, Chandra, Kuja, Buddha, Guru, Shukra, Shani. 7 planets were considered. Ravi is with that of the Asti Dhatu. Asti is the bone and Katu Rasa. Here, the Asti, see now the bone, how it is going to be get developed in the body. Cholecalciferol, calcium is necessary, but we need the very specifically sunlight. Without sunlight, bone can never be strong enough. But my question here is, when we are speaking about the doshas, in many of the other books, Ravi was not given for the Vata, whereas Asti, Tatra Asti Stito Vayu. Vayu is there in the Asti Mahabhut, Asti Dhatu is being stated in Ayurveda, but Ravi was never given the reference to that of the Vayu or Vata dosha. Chandra for the Rakta and Lavana Rasa. You can understand whenever there is moon is coming to nearer to that of the earth, the tides are going to be there, and Lavana Rasa is there in the ocean, and the same Lavana Rasa is there in our blood. Thereby, blood pressure is going to be get increased in the full moon day, new moon day, and when the moon is going to come nearer to the of the earth very specifically. Third is the Kuja. Kuja is for the Majja. Majja is the Majtaka Majja, Mastulunga Majja. Brain or the nervous tissue is being stated. It is not the bone marrow, it is the Majja Dhatu, is the nervous tissue very specifically, where the Tiktarasa. To treat the Vata Vyadhi or the neurological disorder, we use the Tiktarasa very specifically. And the next is the Buddha. Buddha is said for the Twak, otherwise Rasa. The carbohydrate which we are consuming, it is being circulated, giving the energy. This energy giver is the Buddha, and where the Mishraka Rasa, all the rasas together is Shadrasa Ahara is necessary to take. That's what is being stated here. Guru for the Medas, fat. Fat depositions are going to be aggravated with the Madhura Rasa. When you are consuming, any person consumes more sweets, there will be more fat depositions. The next is the Supragraha. Supragraha is for the Viryam. Viryam means the sperm and ovum, the genetic material which makes the offspring or the Putra Utpatti Karaka Dravyas, where the Amla Rasa. Here, consuming of the excess of the Amla Rasa is going to make the Vidikshayam is stated in Ayurveda. The last planet is the Shani. Shani is for the Mamsa, Snayus and Rasa. It is with the Kashaya Rasa. If there are any muscle cramps, Vata Vyadhis with that of the muscle problems, we treat with the Kashaya Rasa Dravyas in Ayurveda. So these things which we are looking at Brihat Parashara Hora 3rd chapter are very acceptable for the present day scenario for making an application through the Ayurveda, and thereby we can establish the information given by this Parashara in this regard are said to be worth enough to understand and also to practice. Later on, the dik has been given. One more interesting point, it is with reference to that of the Rutu. We have the Chaya Prakopa Prasaraha. Ayurveda speaks about the accumulation of the dosha and its excitation state or the prakopa and prashamana suppression states. We say Varshadishu Trishu. This is what the principle in Ayurveda is. You can refer the Vata, the dosha, Chaya Prakopa, Prashamana conditions and Rutus in Google also. The Vasanta Rusu is for the Sukra, where here the Sukha is with said Amla Rasa. Grishma, Puja, Varsha Rutu for the Chandra, Sharad Rutu for the Buddha, Hemant Rutu for the Guru, and Shishir Rutu for the Sun. The 6 Rutus are being given with the 6th planet. Here the sun was not given because the Rutus are going to happen because of the Surya. As it is happening with that of the Surya, the Ayana and also Rutu are going, Masa are going to happen in the because of the Surya. Say the Ayana, Uttarayana, Dakshinayana, the inclination of the sun towards the south or the north. North inclination is Uttarayana, south inclination is Dakshinayana. Now the Rutus are going to be 2 months out of the 12. This, as the sun is moving in different, they are being said with the respective names of the Vasanta, Grishma, etc. Here, you may be asking, there are 12 months, 2 months each and every time we are saying Chaitra, Vaisakha, Jeshta. Why this and how these months are happening? Now, the months in the Western, January, February, March, they do not have any perfect claim. They are only numerical count. But whereas our Hindu Vedic astrology counts very particularly and specifically. The lunar month is for the 28 days. The lunar month, when it is happening, it is going to come in on the Purnami day in the Ashwini Nakshatra. If the Ashwini Nakshatra happens to be on the Purnami or full moon day, that particular month is named as Asuyuja Masa. If it is in the Kritika, then it is a Kartika Masa. In the Magha Nakshatra, it is a Magha Masa. Like that, the Nakshatra. Here you may be having one more question. You just said 28 days cycle and 365 days. Every time we are going to have one Adhika Masas also. Adhika Masa is extra month. Here, Pancha Varshatmaka Yuga is one more term which was said in Ayurveda and also even in the astrology. That is 5 years. In 5 years, we will be getting the 62 months. And this year cycle is 60 years. Prabhava, Vibhava, Sukla, Pramoduta. This like 60 years, they are coming. In the 60 years, the Pancha Varshatmaka Yuga, that is a 5 years span, where each and every 5 years get the 62 months. Such sort of the things are going to come 6 times in one cycle of the Varsha, Chakra. Here, very precisely, the time count has been done in astrology, Vedic astrology, and in very specifically in Indian originative Vedic sciences, we have very precise mathematics, and that we can remarkably understand, and we can say, proudly say, we Indians did it very long ago. Now, there are Graha Avasthas which we have to understand. They are different in different areas were discussed, but today, the last point out of this is the Ucha and Nicha. What is this exaltation? Exaltation is the Ucha, Nicha is the debilitation. Each and every planet is being given how and where they are very strong enough and where they are going to be weak enough. Say, Ravi is said in the Mesha Rasi 10 degrees is the Ucha. Mesha Rasi 10 degrees is the Ucha. Now the question is, what is the Surya planet or this celestial body, and how this celestial body is going to make the strength to individual, and this strength, how it is to be measured. Now say, for example, Surya, naturally he is Atma Karaka and Atma. The strength of the soul is going to be provided by the sun. The sun, when he is in Mesha Rasi, and for the Lagna correspondingly, accordingly, he is going to show and express his strength. he will be very stronger. I just say Surya is going to be very strong enough in the Mesha Rasi. A person who born in the Meena Lagna, for the Simha Rasi Adhipati, Surya in the Mesha Rasi, in the second place, is going to be very strong enough. Now the strength is for the sixth Lord. Trishada we come across 3, 6, 11 are the Dusthana. A Dusthana Lord, when he is going to be in the Maraka Sthana, 2 and 7 are said as the Maraka, are the cause of death. A sixth Lord sitting in the second place, a Maraka Sthana, with the high strength. What does it mean? The disease is going to be a very high and it is going to be problematic. If suppose Karkat Lagna, second Lord is the Sun. When he is second Lord is the Sun for the Karkat Lagna, then Surya in the Mesha Rasi, that position when we are going to go, 10th place occupant Surya. 10th place occupancy of the Surya is going to be stated with, is going to be a person who is a good administrator. Surya is the king. In the 10th place is the professional place. At the time, in the Ucha Sthana, Surya as a second Lord. Second is for the family and also for the money. Beneficiary. The benefits from the job is going to be there and he is going to give more weightage to his profession and also he earns much more is being under. This, in this way, we have to understand this exaltation, the Ucha and the nature debilitation. We can make even one more effort also. In the Mesha Rasi, 100% if it all going to be said, it becomes a 0 when it comes exactly opposite 10 degrees of the Tula Rasi. It is going to be gradually increasing on the other side and decreasing from the Mesha Rasi to the Tula Rasi. From the Tula Rasi to Mesha Rasi, it is increasing. In the same way, yes, we can expect the Chandra is the Rishabha Rasi 3 degrees, Kuja, Makara Rasi 28 degrees, Buddha, Kanya 15 degrees, Guru, Karkata 5 degrees, Shukra, Meena 27 degrees, Shani, Tula 20 degrees. Here I just want to give a small thing. Ravi and Shani always anti. If the Ravi is in the Mesha exalted, Ucha, Shani is in the Tula exalted, in the same place. Now, what is the difference? The strengths of the two people to be compared, Ravi and Shani are the opponents. In the same way, Guru and Puja are the opponents. Shukra and Buddha are opponents. This opponental concept we have to study very vividly. Chandra, according to his strength, he is going to become Papi or Malefic or a benefit, Subha, accordingly. The last point before closing of the today's session, Graha Maitri. Maitri is the friendship with the dog. One planet to be another planet. For the Ravi, here I am speaking about the Shatrus. For the Ravi, Shukra and Shani are the Shatru. Now, let us examine the Shukra. Shukra is having the Ravi and Chandra as a Shatru. For the Shukra, there is no problem. And even for the Shani, Ravi is an enemy. So, this enmity with the Ravi stands still. Chandra has got no enemies. Kuja is having the enmity with the Buddha. And let us see the Buddha. Buddha is having enmity with the only Chandra, but not Kuja. Kuja, he is said to be the Sama. Now, why this one from the Kuja aspect, Buddha is enemy. From the Kuja, Buddha is an enemy. But whereas from the Buddha, Kuja is not enemy for the Buddha. It looks like as if a father and a son. Son may be feeling enmity towards the father, but father never feels enmity with the son. Here the same way, the Kuja and Buddha, Kuja feels Buddha as an enemy, but whereas Buddha do not feel the Buddha as an enemy, he feels the Chandra as an enemy. If you see the Guru is having the Shukra and Buddha as enemies. And for the Shukra, once again, Guru is not enemy, Guru becomes the Sama. From the Guru, Shukra is enemy. From the Shukra, Guru is not enemy, he is neutral and equal. And from the Buddha, when you see, even the same, Guru is not enemy. Guru is not enemy for the Buddha, but whereas for the Guru, Buddha and Shukra, both are enemies. Why this conflictive understanding is being described and what is the rationality behind this friend or the foe in astrology, we have to discuss some other time very vividly. So these are the three chapters. Fourth chapter is the calculation. The calculation, I'll speak how to use the different software and how you have to draw it and how to read. The next Friday, I'm going to speak from 6:30 to 7:30. Till the time, thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can post me or otherwise you can let me know now.